Hi guys, welcome back to the debater. If you're new here, welcome as well. I'm Grace, and I'm gonna be talking about the new recent film, which is part of my favorite film franchise, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So this is gonna be a non-spoiler review, so don't worry. I would recommend you watching it if you are a Indiana Jones fan or a Howard Ford fan. So I'm gonna start talking about the film. But before you start, can you make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell? And please leave a comment. And yeah, I'm just gonna get started. So Indiana Jones was a favorite of mine since my childhood. It's been everything to me. I love the film, and I love all the films really. The one thing I really loved was the action. The action scenes were, they spoke everything about the film. It was adventurous. It was great. Everything. I loved the race in the parade. That was good. The chase down the subway and the car chase. It was just everything. It was really good. I don't know how they did it, but it was really good. I really loved that. The beginning part of the film was my favorite. If you have seen it, then you probably know. And another thing that what I really like was Indy's past, his adventure, and again it involved with the Nazis as well, and it was really good because those stories were the best bits, like in some of the franchise. It was amazing to see young Indiana again, thanks to CGI technology, and it just the way they made Harrison Ford's face look a bit young. It brought me back all the memories again from the first and second, third film and fourth as well. But it just brought back memories, and just brought back it just brought back the feeling of like being young and like being adventurous, being caught in a dangerous situation, but also escaping and fighting through the terror of Nazis. But it was really good, and it was really fun to see that again. I have to admit, while watching this film, there was a lot of callbacks, which I was just saying, like, yes, I remember that part. So, one thing that really caught my eye was like there was this villain in this film called Doctor Follow. I think Follow. It was I think he's German. I'm sorry if I pronounce that wrong, but the way he looks kind of reminds me of the creepy guy from the first film. If you have seen the first film, then you probably know what I'm talking about. I like that they brought back some of the formula for throughout that was involved throughout the franchise, such as like there was a female companion, and there was also like a kid companion as well, which was good because every hero needs not like a sidekick, but like someone to help him out. Well, kind of like a sidekick, but more of a companion, someone who can share his details with, or his past or his life. There was like a dark cave or a tube, and there was like some dinty light shining through. Reminded me of the first one where Indy entered the Mac room. The one thing when I first seen the teaser trailer, the one thing I was screaming, like the one thing that really got me so hyped was seeing Solomon again, because he was my favorite character from the last few films. He was funny, he was great, and he was very supportive towards Indy. Because if this was going to be the last film of Indiana Jones, then I was happy to see him for the last time, because he was there from the beginning. It would be right if he was here to the end, because yeah, he was really good. There wouldn't be a first film without him, to be honest. The casting is really great as well. We got Mads Mikkelsen, who none most of you will know him as Hannibal Lecter or Caecilius in the MCU, and he was a great actor to watch. And I love he always plays the villains, and he did it so well. He was really great. He looked very smart, but he looks very sinister as well, which it was great. He was a perfect part. And then we got Boyd Holbrook, who is also a villain from X-Men's Logan and the Cinnamon, and he did it well again. He's like, the people who played the villains are naturally great to play the villains, and these guys were great. They were good. They were like not good. They were bad. They were dark, but they did it so good. If that makes sense. And then we got Fleabag's main star, Phoebe, who played a smart, cheeky, and very energetic character. And she's kind of new, but she was good. She was good in the film, and I did kind of like her in a way. Then we got Antonio Banderas from Puss in Boots, and we got like Toby Jones, and we got Shanette Wilson. There was a lot of big actors in this film. Some I didn't like, not forgot, but some I didn't really know were in it. And they had their own spare time in this film, but there were some things I like feel like, oh, I want to see more of them, or like, oh, I wish they stayed on a bit longer. But it made sense, and they were good. It was nice to see them. And last but not least, Harrison Ford was absolutely incredible. We know him from the start when he first introduced us this character that was made of wits and courage, and he had a taste of adventure. Harrison didn't disappoint me at all. He was the main star in this film. He was everything in this film. Like, no one could play Indiana Jones better than he could. And he was in the beginning, he was a star, and he will be to the end. And well, this is basically the end. But he was everything in this film, and I'm really pleased that we get to see him one last time to play this amazing character. I admire that the film crew use real locations for shooting and not just like all CGI, because in the beginning, since the first film, they did film in certain real locations to make it feel realistic and to feel a bit natural as well. And one other thing I kind of noticed, it wasn't filmed like in the old days. It wasn't had that similar technique, but I did get the feeling like it was sort of styled that way, like it was sort of styled how they would have done it in the old days, which was good. The cinematography was good as well. Again, it felt really natural, no use of green screen much, or same with CGI, thanks to the director James Mangold, who again, I kind of appreciate that he used real locations to actually like feel a bit realistic, which was really great, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm not gonna lie, before the film, I was annoyed that Steven Spielberg wasn't going to direct this film. I'm not saying that this director, James, wasn't good. His directing was actually really good as well. It was very neat and very clear and it was filled with action. But I just think like this is basically like a birthright for Stephen. Like, he started this work, this masterpiece, and I thought it would have been better if he just completed, if that makes sense. But other than that, it was still good. Another thing I was pleased to hear is that John Wilson, who returned to do the music for this film, because he knows the franchise since the beginning, and you can hear his piece, like his masterpiece in the background. He gave us like this atmosphere of excitement and adventure, and that's what we all want to hear in this kind of film. And I don't think this one would have worked without his music. It was brilliant. Besides loving this film, there was some bits that didn't really live up to my standards. So for example, I did feel like there was a little lack of character development, especially with Helen, who we find out she's Indy's goddaughter from the trailers. And like I said, I liked her. She was okay for me, but there were some bits that, like, there were some times that she did kind of get on my nerve a bit. I think when it comes to films like Indiana Jones, you get like the hero who's a bit older with his own personal experience. If you get like a younger companion, like, they kind of should like not like look up to them, but like kind of like follow their footsteps, or like kind of experience what they're experiencing as well. And Helen sort of like mirrored Indy. I just think that her character should have been kind of designed better, not design, but like kind of develop a bit more, or like started something a bit different. Because I think if you have a character who is very similar to the main star, then I think you just kind of lost interest. I think if they added something else about her, something that made her stand out, or something that made her very different to Indiana Jones, then I think that would have kind of, I think that would have been a bit better. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm right or wrong. Either way, it's my opinion, but I appreciate yours as well. But that's just what I think. And the same kind of goes for Indiana Jones. Like, I adore this character since childhood, but there was something missing in his character development. Like, something was sort of lacking. Like, this is my film student side coming out. So I'm just gonna explain that in the story, you get a character from the beginning that starts with like a desire, like something that they really want. And then in the climax, the character ends with something that they actually really needed. So, say like for the first film, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana wanted to find the lost ark and bring it back to the museum for discovery. But in the end, what Indiana actually needed was to give up the ark for security and hide away so no one can find it and use its power for evil. So I felt like that sort of formula was a bit gone downwards in a way. Like there was something a bit turned off, or like there was something that should have been added, like something that really put off Indy over the edge, or like something more troubling. And yeah, that's what I think. And without spoiling anything, another aspect that sort of went downhill was a horror element. Like in the previous films, they had like memorable but scary scenes that haunt us in our dreams. Mainly the death scenes, like someone ripping out people's hearts, or melting faces, or a man getting eaten by ants. Like you know them. If you've seen Indiana Jones, you probably know them, definitely. There were a lot of shocks and little twists, and something that you probably wouldn't expect, but I wasn't really feeling like I had to cover my eyes or cover my gas, like because I wasn't very scared. Like there was nothing too horrifying. I think because Disney kind of helped produce this film and they wanted to make it a bit friendlier for kids, which is a bit of a shame because Indiana Jones had like mainly like the horror, like not horror, but like something that was quite gruesome, if you get what I mean. I'm not saying I want people to die horrifyingly, but like, or something brutally, but like, that's it's film, it's fiction. You're meant to get them feeling something, even if it's scary. um I'm gonna talk about the ending, and again, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I have to admit, I had mixed feelings about the ending. Like before the film, there was talks about this final film possibly gonna end like Daniel Craig's James Bond film, and what I'm just gonna say is that this film ended in its own way, and it had its own way that kind of separated from other films. And yeah, so there was a one big twist that happened in the climax which got me like shocked, like literally my jaw dropped. And but it was enjoyable to watch. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe it, or like something you would not expect at all. But afterwards, the execution of the climax was a bit tangled and a bit misleading as well. Like you have no idea where this was going as well. Like you kind of predict like the heroes are going to win, but there was something a bit wrong that was holding them back. Like one person was saying something, and then another person was saying or doing something else, and you're like, which one is going to be right, or which one, like what are they talking about, or like what's going to happen. It was a bit a bit confusing, and you're like, why is this even happening in the first place? Like everything must have a purpose or something. And yeah, so that's kind of my mixed feelings. But other than that, it was quite good. So one question I had in mind, and that question was, is this truly the end for Indiana Jones? Well, they did say it's going to be the last film, sadly, and I have to kind of agree. It could be like, not could, but it might just let it be the last film, because I mean, nothing lasts forever and the story will still live on. But I'd rather let it end now than let this masterpiece be spoiled or ruined. However, if you guys remember this character Mutt from the fourth film, who is Indiana's son that he had no idea existed, and you might have noticed that Mutt wasn't seen in the trailers or anything, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but there was something mentioned in the film. Again, not going to say anything, but one thing I was thinking is that if Harrison Ford is done acting his part, then perhaps, maybe Mark could take his place, and maybe continue the legacy or something. Even if you viewers who have seen this film, you'll probably be asking me, how would that even be possible? What I'm going to say is that it's Indiana Jones. Literally anything could happen and anything is possible, because maybe not much, but we didn't even know he exists to the fourth film. So maybe somewhere between the fourth and this film, maybe there'd be like grandkids, or maybe there's other like other people who are related to Indiana Jones. Maybe they could live up to the tradition or generation or something. But I mean, I like Helen, but I wouldn't want her to be like a female Indiana Jones. Not like they're thinking like having a female James Bond or something. But I kind of I want the legacy to live on. Even if Ford is done, I want the story to continue. I want someone to pick up the hat, take the whip, the bag, and just continue the story in the name of Indiana Jones. That's what I kind of hope in the future. I mean, to be honest, these film companies now are making huge bucks of money, so they're probably going to try something. But yeah. So that's my non-spoiler review of Indiana Jones. So in shorter words, it's not as perfect as the first one, because let's face it, nothing's better than the first film, but I would say it's great. It definitely fits with the franchise. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your time. If you have any thoughts on the film, or if you have seen the film, please let me know in your comments below. I love to hear your thoughts and your theories. Like, do you think like Indiana Jones is finally at the end, or do you think like someone will take up the hat and live on with the generation and the legacy? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And before you leave, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Check out other reviews we've done recently on some of the Disney films, such as Elemental. We've done that quite recently. We also done The Little Mermaid and Peter Pan, and we've done some Marvel films as well. We've done TV shows. We also done games, pranks. We've done a whole lot. Check them out on the channel, guys. And you can follow us on Instagram or Twitter. We update about videos or reviews or reactions we've done so far. And check our website that we made. It's all about us, like my team, and all about all the videos we've done. So yeah, again, thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye.